Hello, everybody. This is Layla, the regulator here. And what I will talk to you about today is how to get over a breakup. Well, it happens to all of us, and sometimes it can be really hard to get over a person. Maybe you left because things weren't working out well and you knew it was time to go. Maybe they left you, and that's even worse because you start to doubt yourself, wonder why it didn't work. Was it you? Was it the person? What's going on? When you invested time and in your emotional environment with someone, it's almost like a mourning when they go. It's the life before and after. It's very difficult to deal with having someone and all of a sudden not. And when you're in that vulnerable period of being alone after, the relationship's not working, all kinds of things can happen. And you have to make sure you keep yourself on guard so you will not fall into a trap of even being more hurt than before. So the things you would have to do vary. And I'm going to give you some tips on how to help you with that. I had a relationship once. I was happy with the guy. I really thought that this probably would be the end of dating and putting yourself out there. Things were pretty much going well, but I started to notice some things that when I thought about our future, that it wouldn't work. And as much as I had the instinct to just look over it and just be like, oh, well, I'll deal with that. I knew in my heart that if I were to let these things go and stay with him, that I would just end up being miserable. And it was very hard to break up with him because there were qualities that he had that were great. However, there were qualities that he had that just, I couldn't see himself getting past them. He was a funny guy, made me laugh crazy, very affectionate. However, he had a really bad relationship before, and because of that, he had trust issues, and I kept on feeling the repercussions of his past relationship. He really didn't trust me, and it made me try to be perfect. Like, I'm going to prove to him that he can trust me, he can love me, and he doesn't have to worry. And I was just working so hard, and as more that I worked, it didn't really serve me well because he still didn't trust me. And I had to stop, instead of thinking that it was me that was making it bad. Like, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't have my guy friends, and maybe I should dress more demurely. And I had to stop and say, it doesn't matter what you do, he's still not going to trust you. Whatever happened in the past, you don't know the whole details, but this person is not strong enough to get over it. He's always going to be broken, damaged. In some instances, some people like to just be in that funk all the time. They feel comfortable with it. They don't like change. And I had to sit there and literally write down the pros and cons of our relationship. Sometimes you have to. Sometimes you don't see it when you're in it. So it's best to put things down, pros and cons. Don't make up little things, little pro things like, oh, well, he calls me. No, you have to be very practical. And I sat down and I saw the cons outweighed the pros. And it was hard. It was very hard for me to do what I did. I cried the entire time that I, was telling him that it wasn't going to work. And don't think that I didn't warn him in before about it, because like I said in past videos, always be upfront with men. No signals, no games. Just be upfront and tell him what you want. And I was telling him. I sat down with him and I told him that it's not working. You really need to make more efforts to make this work, or I'm going to leave. And I did, and nothing happened, so I had to let it go. And when it was over, it just seemed like I was more lonelier than ever. And we all go through that when we break up with someone. You just seem more lonelier than before. Things aren't as bright as they were before. You're more sad. But I didn't allow myself to do that. I got active. I got my mind focused on other things. I made the opportunity to do other things that I wouldn't have been able to do when I was in a relationship. And so what I mean, to break it down to you after that long spiel, is when you break up with someone, it doesn't matter what the circumstance is. If you are sad or whatever, this is what you need to do to get out of it. Number one, get out there, work out, hang out with your friends immediately, good friends. Don't get into drinking, don't get into doing naughty things, don't eat bad stuff, because that's the whole cliche. When they show women break up, they're like in front of a TV with a thing of bonbons. That's horrible, because the endorphins you're getting from the food is it encourages you to eat more food, because now you're happy. So you know to go to food because it's making me happy. Don't do that. Work out. Have some music on to distract you. Get a good friend. Talk about it. Talk it out with your friend and say, look, this happened, that happened. Just get it out. Another thing is, do not, and this is really, really paramount, do not get with someone right away. This is not something you want to do. You don't need to be distracted in such a way where your emotions will be wrapped up with someone. And if it's a fleeting one night stand thing, you're going to be hurt, because you're trying to simulate that relationship environment you had before with someone who's only there or meant to be there for 2 seconds. So don't do that. Call off men for a while. And I mean, if you're a person that can't trust your loins, don't even have your male friends around, because you do not need to get into something sexual with someone. You're a woman. It's embedded in your DNA to be very nurturing and wanting love, and you don't need to mix up your emotions right now. It's time to take time to do something different with your life. Take all that energy, like I said, to work out, hang out with friends. Think of something new you want to do with your life. I mean, something new in sense of learn a new language. I'm very much about that. Take Taibo or kickboxing or Zumba or whatever else is new right now. If there's a goal that you are on your way doing and you didn't finish up, now's the time to do it. Put all your energy into it, because turn your sad, depressed, negative energy into something more positive. Put your energy into something that's going to uplift you and not take you down. So it's important to be busy. Busy. Do not sit down when you are alone and you do have time to think, analyzing what could have been, what you should have done right, what you should have done wrong, what you should do. Should I call him? Should I not call him? If it's over, it's over. No point to go back again. There really isn't a point, because if it was great, you wouldn't be over to begin with. Okay? Write down the pros and cons again on a piece of paper, and be realistic about your pros and cons of your relationship. Was he nice? Was he thoughtful? Was he faithful? Was he cheap? Was he condescending, or was he complimentive? If he calls you, it depends. That's an answer that's very hard for me to give, because I don't know what the nature of the breakup is. I think if the person hurts you and you left the relationship hurt and upset, there's no reason to answer the phone. If there's something that you did that hurt him and he's calling to try to restructurize, well, that's another ball of chains that you have to get together. And if that's the situation, please feel free to contact me. My contact information is below, and I will personally try to help you with that. But if it's a relationship that ended because he did something to hurt you, he or she, then it's for you to not deal with him. His phone calls are not wanted, because it's not like he's going to change. People really don't change. They can change, but when they're in a relationship and they see that you didn't put your foot down, they get comfortable all over again. It's very hard. I'm not saying that change is not possible, but it's not easy. It doesn't happen that much. So it's best to really try to think if you really want to pick up that phone. As far as the relationship not working and you picking up the phone to call him, no. You are more important than that. You are more special than that. There is 7 billion people in the world, and I guess half of them are guys. So you're not going to have a problem finding another one. And besides, you're a regulator woman. You are going to have all the tools to get the man that you want and the life that you want. So you don't need this particular guy. He is just one of millions that you can deal with later. Peace. So it's hard, but to put it in a nutshell, the fast version, when the breakup has happened, do not engage in negative behavior, drinking, eating bonbons, having desserts, hanging out with the girls at all hours of the night at clubs, looking for guys. Do pick up a new hobby, exercise, learn a new language, hang out with positive people and whatnot. Do not pick up the phone if this person had hurt you. Do not pick up the phone. Do not accept his call if he was the one that hurt you. If it's the other way around, like I said, that's a more complicated issue. If you were the one that hurt him, you're ready to change? Are you ready to be better? Well, you can call me and I'll try to help you out with that particular instance. Anyway, I know breakups are hard. It was definitely hard for me. My sadness lasted about 5 months. Yes, 5 months. But in that time, I learned more about myself. I got myself together and I evolved. Now, the particular breakup I had with him, it wasn't like he cheated. He was just not giving me the things that I needed from him. So in a way, when he did call, it was easier to pick up the phone. But I did not. Because what is the point? What conversation were we going to have? And really, when you're in a relationship with someone, it's very hard for you to just be friends. And even though it was nice to know that the phone was ringing because of him, I had to move on. I made my decision and I stick with it. And a regulator girl, when she makes her decision, she sticks with it. She's not indecisive. She doesn't go backwards. She goes forwards because it's always forwards. It's all the back there is back there, okay? Anyway, if you are getting out of a relationship, just got out of a relationship, don't take it as a bad thing. It's time for you to evolve and do all the things you wanted to do that you couldn't do because you're so distracted working on your relationship, okay? You're going to be fine. There's plenty of guys out there. I'm going to help you get in the game and get it right together. Don't worry. Men are very simple creatures, and I have the secret to show you how simple they are. Please visit my blog for more information. Visit my Twitter for daily inspiration. And, hey, friend me on Facebook, Layla Akiota. Anyway, this is Layla signing off. Peace.